Welcome to Your C News. I'm your anchor, Reese. This is my co-anchor, Charles. Our reporter today is Eli, and our news director is Felix. Today is Monday, February 6th, 2023. It is a week 1, day 1. Stay tuned for today's announcements. Attention C students and staff. Tuesday, February 7th will be Dress as Your Favorite Book Character Day. You can choose fictional characters like Harry Potter, Princess Leia, or Cat in the Hat. You can also dress up like a real-life person who had a book written about them, like Barack Obama, Patrick Mahomes, or Amelia Earhart. Please do not bring props and do not wear any kind of masks. Our second Dear Time at C will be this afternoon at 3. Have your books ready for some more fun reading. Now over to you to the shout-outs, Charles.
Thanks, Reese. Shout out to all the students at C for doing an awesome job during our first school-wide Dear Time. Everyone was focused and reading the entire time. Way to go. Shout out to William in the Wolf Den. He's working very hard with Mrs. Fritz on math and reading. Keep it up. Now over to Eli for the birthdays.
Thank you, Charles. This week's birthdays include Genevieve in Miss Shore's class, Malik in Mrs. Wolf's class, Hamanchi in Gelmar Quinn's class, Odie in Mrs. Wolf's class, Mesa in Mrs. Zane's class, London in Miss Shobe's class, Cozy in Miss Houtilla's class, Lottie in Miss Piggins' class. Head on down to the office for your birthday pencil. Now over to Charles for the lunch menu.
Thank you, Eli. Today's lunch at Fair is Hernan pea pasta, mini garlic bread and Alfredo sauce, and carrots and broccoli. At C, cheesy beef mac, broccoli sprouts, and school-made pickles. Now over to Eli for the weather forecast.
Thanks, Charles. Today's weather should be a high of 38 degrees and a low of 27 degrees. A little snow and sleet. Please stand for our pledge.
Today's pledge is the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey everyone, as most of you know, this is I Love to Read Month, and we today are going to celebrate by having some stories written by 4 of our awesome second graders in Miss Houtilla's class. They're going to be reading for you stories that they wrote themselves, and not just any stories. These are some enchanted tales. So sit back for a few minutes and enjoy these awesome enchanted tales.
Once upon a time there was a magical pregnant mom cat and a silly dad cat. They lived in a cute cat cottage. They already had a kid that was 3 years old. The baby cat was a villain. She was in the kitchen. Dad cat went and he spotted the cat. The baby asked Dad if she could make dinner. Dad cat said okay. He left, but instead she made poison that looked like soup. At dinner, Dad cat ate the poison and fell to the ground. Mom threw the soup and chased baby outside. She ran to the forest. She never came back. Then Mom cat used her magic. Dad cat woke up. They hugged and soon then they got their baby. She has 4 babies. They all were nice. They loved each other. They all lived happily ever after. And the 3-year-old baby died. And the end.
Welcome to another read aloud. Today I will be reading the real story of the centaur and the baby. Once upon a time, there was a buff centaur and a baby. Together, they ruled a kingdom. They were the most powerful all over them. In the middle of the night, the monster snuck to the window and kidnapped the baby. The next morning, the centaur walked to the baby's room, only to find out that he was kidnapped. The centaur was so filled with rage that he built a portal to the monster realm in full armor to rescue the baby. The monster said, "You will have to fight me for him." And without a word, the centaur shot him, and the monster was killed. After that, they got home. All the townspeople were so happy, they threw a party to celebrate, and they lived happily ever after. The end.
My name's Keaton and I'm going to read you this story. The Smart Wolf and the Gingerbread Man. Once upon a time there was a wolf and the wolf had a friend and his name was the Gingerbread Man. And they lived in a cottage, a big cottage. One day the wolf looked out the window to see if the Gingerbread Man made any trouble when he played, but he did not make any trouble. The goblin did, and he ate the Gingerbread Man's hand off. The wolf went outside with his wand and zapped the goblin, and the goblin turned into a fly, and the wolf baked the Gingerbread Man a new hand and put frosting to stick it on. And they lived happily ever after.
I'm Alicia and I'm going to read you a story about the princess and the handsome prince. Once upon a time there was a pretty princess that lived in a big castle that was close to the gigantic ocean. She lived with her bad father. He was so mean and he hated animals. One day when the pretty princess was in her garden, she found 2 small baskets full of big eggs. So the pretty princess carefully took the 2 small baskets and put them on top of her bed. Her father had watched her. Then one of the eggs hatched, and out came a handsome fox. The evil father saw the beautiful fox and got so angry that he put a spell on the fox and ran away. And the fox fell to the ground and started to cry. The pretty princess heard the beautiful fox cry. So the pretty princess tried to help the fox, but the princess could not help the fox. So the princess knew that the fox had cancer. So the princess was so sad. The princess walked upstairs with the fox and reverses the spell on the fox. So the princess turns her evil father into a mouse and captures her father and puts him in a small metal cage. So the princess lived happily ever after with her best friend the fox. The end.
Thanks for watching Your C News.
We'll see you later!